Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick isn't in right now. If you want to leave a message, I can get back to you as soon as possible.
Dr. Nick is on vacation for a month. And has been.
Dr. Nick is currently on vacation. If
Sick
you'd like
of
to
this
leave your
shit.
name, number, and a short message.
Sick of all of this. It is the penultimate it's the final shonen episode. We watched Hunter x Hunter.
I was about to say, it's not the penultimate.
Yeah. We watched Hunter x Hunter. We
Penultimate would
watched
have been last week.
episodes 1, 126, and 131, also known as the first episode, the bomb episode, and the Slim Jim episode. So, how you guys doing? Yeah. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Doing your mom.
Oh, shit.
But
So here's the thing. I've already been really, really vocal about this fucking anime. It's my favorite anime.
I think you like this.
It is 10 out of 10. My favorite anime. 100%.
I don't know. I think you would give this like a 5.
I mean, maybe. I could see that.
No, a 5's generous. I think Dear would give it more of a 3.
Oh my god.
A -2.
I think Dear likes
final
it.
answer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, there are some funny moments. Dear did laugh.
It is 10 out of 10. It's my favorite anime. I actually realized this recently when I rewatched it, the entire thing for this fucking podcast, because I felt like it, and it made me realize, yeah, this is my favorite fucking anime. So hey, what happens in it, Spooky?
Well, in episode 1, Gon catches a fish.
Yeah, he does.
Woo! Okay, so in episode 126,
so Gon, how do you say it exactly?
Gon Gaga.
Gon.
It's
Deku
Gon or
Goku.
Gon, whichever.
Yeah, okay, so Gon catches a fish, because his aunt was like, hey, if you can catch this fish like your dad did, then you can, take the hunter exam. And Gon says, fuck yeah, I'm gonna take the hunter exam, because my dad was a hunter, and he loved it so much that he left me.
Mm-hmm.
It must be so cool for him to have left me for it.
Yeah. So...
That's literally it.
Yep, so, he sets sail to go take the exam, and, there's a bunch of douchebags on the boat, but there's also a couple other main characters, such as Kura Pikachu and Oreo. There's some dudes beating up some guy...
Spooky.
Yes?
Mr. Oreo?
What?
Mr. Oreo.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Oreo.
Oreo, sorry.
Come on, Spooky. You said
Oreo.
it like 50,000 times.
Yeah, Oreo-sama. Okay, so the mean guys beat up the mean guys beat up... Fuck.
Mhm.
The mean guys beat up this random dude that has some fucking apples, and then Gon's like, nah, I'm nice. I'm gonna be nice to the apple man. And then Gon
I'm gonna be
is
nice
like,
to the gay one.
yeah, and then the captain comes out, and he's like, talking to Gon, and Gon's like, oh, I smell a storm. And a storm happens. So Gon goes, and he's helping some seasick crewmates, like the good little boy that he is. The captain calls, or like, he gets Gon, Kura Pikachu, and Oreo into his little captain quarters, and he's like, so tell me why you're here. And Gon's like, my dad left me. And he's like, okay, cool, kid. And then Kura Pikachu's like, I have secrets. And
I have a backstory.
yeah, and then the other one's, Oreo is like, I'm not gonna fucking tell you shit. And the captain's like, well, the exam's already started. I get to pick who goes on to take the exam, so you better tell me. And he's like, you're the only 3 that could possibly go on, so, you know, whatever. And Kura Pikachu's like, I'm the sole survivor of my clan, and I want revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, like, probably the most baller line of the episodes we watched, when he's like, I'm not afraid of death, I'm afraid that time will calm the fire in my heart, or whatever. And I was like, damn, Kura Pikachu, that's a little bit hard. And then Oreo ruins the moment and goes, I want money, baby! That's why I'm here.
Give me the money, baby!
Yeah.
I want the money!
Yeah, and then Kura Pikachu's like, wow, Oreo, you suck. And Oreo's like, you know what, Kura Pikachu? I'm gonna take you outside and I'm gonna fucking kick your ass. Your clan's gonna go extinct because I'm gonna kill you, asshole.
Yeah, time to finish off your bloodline.
Yeah, and then they go out, and the captain's like, should you stop them? And Gon's like, no, you can never understand a person unless you understand what makes them angry, which is something his aunt told him.
His aunt told him in the tutorial.
Yeah, in the tutorial. So anyway, the storm's happening still, and Gon's like helping with the storm as Oreo and Kura Pikachu fight each other. And the dude that had the apples from earlier, he falls off the edge, and Kura Pikachu and Oreo go to catch him, and they miss. But then Gon's like, fuck you guys, and jumps off the side of the boat to grab the dude. And Oreo and Kura Pikachu catch Gon, and then Gon is like, see, you both caught me together. And then Kura Pikachu and Oreo make up and are friends now. And then it's like, Gon's journey begins. End of episode. And then there was a sick-ass fucking ending song. If you're in Las
song
Vegas,
was real sick.
I got really excited. I love Fear Las Vegas.
That was a really sweet ending song,
it's really
not
good.
gonna lie.
I'm mad they changed it. Anyway. So, episode 126 now. There's a little bit of a jump.
Yeah.
A little bit of a jump, and a little bit of a change in style.
Yeah, we pretty much learn that, he's the good kid. He's pretty full
Perfect
of
golden
life
child.
and lovely and hopeful and could do no wrong. But then, yeah, we skip forward some. What happens next? Yeah.
So on episode 126, I'm going to read out all of my notes, and then I'll go in further detail.
Yeah, no problem.
So these are my notes for 126. Some old man loves some dude. Intro time. Old man and Bugman fight. That's it. That's the whole episode. It's just filled with, if I do this, then I can't get past his block, and he is about to attack with the super duper handsy super attack. Ant-Man punches old dude's leg off. 'Tis just a flesh wound. Your arm is my next target. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Arm go bye-bye. I'm the king ant. What's my name, old man? It's methylated spirits. Don't underestimate humans or skeletons. Big ol' nuke inside go boom. Fight over.
Mm-hmm.
So, going back into detail, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's just a big old fight. They talk, they say stuff. Old man is like, aha, I've got you. And then the Ant-Man's like, I've got you. And he's like, I can pray without my hands. And the Ant's like, oh.
Yeah. I will say one thing I
There's
thought
some neat
was really
visuals.
neat, just kind of like knowing more about the show, because I have a friend who really likes it, and he's like talked to me about it before. I really liked the part where the Ant King is like, playing that like basically chess with the little girl, like helped him to be able to analyze his opponents more and like figure out what moves they'll make next. And I was like, that's neat. That's a neat.
That's a
thing.
nice callback.
Yeah.
So the girl is named Komugi.
I didn't know what that was. I just saw
you're
chessboards,
good.
and I'm like, this is them explaining his thought process. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a callback to something, but
I mean,
it looks neat. Like, there are a lot of neat visuals.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is, in this arc, he's an ant, basically. He's a species of ants that they devour anything, and then the children that they have parts of the things they devoured. So he's a mix of like a shit ton of things, and he's basically here to take over the world. It's the whole point.
The ant or the old man?
The ant. And
Okay.
he decides to pass his time at one point by playing the best board game players in the world to make sure that he's best at basically everything he can. So he learns chess,
so it's
he
like
learns
that
checkers, he learns all of it.
So it's like that other anime that we haven't watched yet. March comes in like a lion.
Yeah, the one with, well,
Yeah.
kind of.
The one that we haven't watched yet.
Yeah. So
Definitely not.
definitely not. So he also at one point learns a game called Gungi, which is what Komugi plays, and he cannot beat her at all. And so because of that, he starts to learning her moves and learning things about her through the way she plays and learning how to take on your opponent by having played Gungi with her as a master of Gungi, because she's just a blind kid. This is literally all she has is Gungi. And so he basically uses that in this fight for the most part. I guess at this point, I'll wait and ask later. So, yeah. Hey, Spooky, what happens
Yeah,
next?
that's it.
What happens next? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I happened to take notes.
Oh, you did this time?
So, yeah, I took notes this time. To be fair, there was actually a decent chunk of content to take notes on.
Yes.
So anyway, Pito, by the way, is a cat person.
Ant.
Cat girl.
But is also a bug person, right? Like,
yeah, like I said, they're chimera ants. So at some point, the person that birthed her ate a cat and a person.
Okay, gotcha.
Cat bug.
Yeah.
So,
she's she's the reverse of cat bug. She's more cat than bug, so she's more like bug cat.
Yeah. Bug cat, there we go. But, anyway, Pito is talking to Gon, and they're obviously going somewhere, and Pito's like, I gotta be real with you, you waited for me, and I know it was happening there, Pito was healing
Komugi.
Komugi, yeah. So, Pito's like, you waited for me to finish healing her, like I asked, so, I feel like I have to be honest with you. Your friend Kite, he is already dead. And then Gon gets real sad. And then Pito's healing, and Gon's like, why the fuck are you healing? You should be healing my friend, even though you just said he was dead. But he's a little bit in denial.
A little bit of a psychotic breakdown. Just a little bit.
It cuts away from that for a second. This little fairy fuck is like, give me that girl and I'll stop Pito for you.
And then Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, sorry. And then they say, fuck no. And then Kayla was like, I'm gonna go help Gon. And then we cut back to
These
Pito and Gon.
supersonic races.
Yeah. Pito's like, hey Gon, sorry about this. I'm gonna have to kill you. My next note after that is just lol, because I know where this goes.
I'm sorry, protagonist of this anime. I have to kill you now.
But
yeah, that's really going to work out well for you.
Lol. So then Gon mad because he realizes Kite's not coming back. So Gon says, fuck this, I don't care what happens to me now. And says, give me literally all of the Nen, which the Nen is like the magic source. Think
of it as like magic chakra.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's like, give me all of the Nen that I will ever use in my life. Fuck my lifespan. Give me all of the power I could ever use right the fuck now. I'm going to use it.
I will say it is a really nice callback to the previous episode where Netro literally goes, you are... Fuck, what did he say exactly? You are...
Wait, I wrote this down. I wrote this
down. The malice in your heart.
Yeah, you know nothing of the bottomless malice within the human heart. I wrote that one down because it was cool. Okay,
it's great. And then a few episodes after this happens, it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's a nice setup. So Pito is like, fuck, I have to stop this guy like right here and now because Gon has like physically aged. His hair is fucking long and beautiful.
He's Slim Jim Man.
Up. He's fucking...
He became Doug Dimmadome.
Real angry. And he's like... Pito is like, I'm gonna have to kill Gon right the fuck now, or else Gon can kill the king, and I can't let that happen. So... Gon is like, come with me, Pito, and they're just walking into the woods, and Pito's like fucking scared. So... Pito tries to do a surprise attack.
He does say like come with me into the woods because he doesn't want to destroy the area, like the place that they're in. That's why they walk into the woods, which I thought that was a little neat touch.
Yeah, that's nice. But anyway, so he's like, Pito's scared, tries to do a surprise attack. Gon's like, you fucking idiot, and kicks him into the air, or kicks her into the air. And then he starts doing his little rock, paper, scissors thing, because Gon's powers are based around rock, paper, scissors, and he chooses rock, and apparently the cat chooses scissors like an idiot, because when she's done falling from the air, fucking Gon blasts the fuck out of her.
Can I also mention that she is like spinning through the air, like coughing up blood, freaking the fuck out. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So good.
Pito is like, at that moment, realizes like says, "Oh, thank God," because this means that Gon is using all of his Nen right now and will never be able to use Nen again, and I'll be the only one that gets killed, because Pito's motivations are very obviously, like, protect the king. Whatever. Pito gets fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
Gon beats the fuck out of Pito. Fucking Killua shows up and sees Gon just, like, squishing Pito's head in like a fucking watermelon or some shit. Pito just doesn't have a head anymore. Then a line came up where Killua was like, "Gon is like Biscuit," and Gamb and I both laughed really hard because we didn't have context. And I at least knew it was a character name, but it was still really fucking funny.
Killua instantly thought of Biscuit.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, that's what it was. Killua thought of Biscuit, and Gamb fucking died. Biscuit's like, this cute little girl who, like, hides what she really looks like because she's, like, giant and super muscular and strong, whatever. So anyway... Pito's headless body becomes, like, reanimated for a minute as, like, a puppet type thing to attempt to kill Gon.
Well, her whole Nin thing is she basically is a specialist, which means she could do a whole bunch of different things. Okay. But the biggest one is that she has puppeteering, like, powers.
Puppeteering, okay.
And so she enacted her puppeteering stuff where she was like, "Make me dance harder than I can go." Basically, earlier. So that's still active, technically.
Gotcha. So, Pito tries to lunge at Gon. Killua pushes Gon out of the way, and Gon just loses his arm. And, there's, like, a moment where it's like, Killua thinks that he heard Gon say something, and Gon's like, "It's okay, I'm not hurt. Actually, I'm kind of happy, because I can die, just like how Kite fucking died in the end." And Gon fucking pierces Pito with his arm, and
he fucking goes
like,
full
with
deadly
his ripped
prey.
off arm.
Yeah, his ripped off arm. Yeah, he stabs Pito with it, and is like, "Okay, you're dead now." And then Killua was like, "It's too much power."
No one man should have all that power.
Yeah, because Gon's using a special attack again, and it's real big this time. And then Gon, like, kind of looks back with, like, a little tear, and fucking explodes. Yep. End of episode.
So there's a way that I would like to talk about this episode, or this anime. And the first thing I have to ask is, do you think you guys will watch it? Because if not, I want to get into spoilers. No. Okay. So a couple things. I know too much about it to ever watch it anyway. A couple things. Killua is gay as hell for Gon, for one. So that he's literally getting his heart broken, for one, watching this. The nuke that you saw go off is actually what kills the big bad guys. And I think that's fantastic.
What do you mean?
So it's radiation poisoning that kills him, because Netero did not think he was going to win, but he was going to try anyway because he's supposedly the chairman and one of the strongest people Nen-wise. So he literally has this whole scene where he cuts his hair and resigns as chairman.
He's a chairman.
And goes to fight. And so he gets the bomb implanted in him because he legitimately isn't sure if he's going to win. And so the bomb goes off, and Miriam does survive, kind of. Basically, his employees have to help give him power back to bring him back to life. It's very weird. It's a very weird
about the part
episode.
Of his death, his actual death, that I know about, that I like.
I will in 2 seconds, maybe.
Okay.
So all three of them at that point, because at the time his two employees were rushing towards him to help him, they all basically get radiation poisoning. And that's what they die from. And it basically says, like, yeah, like, at the end of the day, we all have our limits, and humans will always resort to this shit, and it's fucking horrible. basically.
At the end of the day, radiation beats all, bitch.
I mean, yes.
But I like
Can't fucking run from cancer. Can't punch your way out of cancer, can you, bitch?
You can't, anyway.
Because with his death, doesn't he, like, die? He dies with Komugi, and Komugi dies first, doesn't she? And it's like, damn, ouch.
Yes. So he winds up going down to his bunker and basically playing a last couple games with Komugi of Gungi and just being like, I just want to be here and playing Gungi with you. That's all I want. She's like, I'm not going to leave your side. And they basically both die of radiation poisoning up there. Yeah, so that's a thing.
An awful way to go, by the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's so fucking much I wish I could have shown y'all. For one, we need to talk about Hisoka.
We didn't see Hisoka a single fucking
We did not.
time.
We did not, because I figured it'd be easier to talk about him.
Show up.
He's just a huge pedophile. Straight up.
No.
Well, I'm glad you know.
Well,
some people might not know.
There's a conversation I would be willing to have, but I don't think the internet is really ready for it, and I don't really want to have the conversation.
No, that's fair. He's a pedophile in the sense that he gets 100% turned on by beating up and killing children. That's it. And it's extremely obvious in the show. He's literally like, I'm getting turned on. It's like, okay, Hisoka, stop. But there was something Matt actually said that I was like, oh yeah, kinda. He was in chat with me, like in your Twitch chat, and he was basically like, I hate Hisoka, I hate having to watch Hisoka, but whenever Hisoka's not there, you're just like, oh man, where's Hisoka? Like,
yeah.
Fuck. And it sucks because you want to not, like, be interested in him being there because he's the main villain. But at the same time, you're like, no, get the fuck away. I fucking hate having to watch your shit. So it's just, I don't know.
He's a hateable villain.
100%.
Does he have any, like, redeeming qualities as a villain at all, or is he just kind of, like, bad?
No, he's pretty much just kind of bad. He always does things for his own interests.
Does he have, like, good motivations?
No.
No. Selfish motivations.
Yeah.
Are they strong motivations? I guess that's the better wording.
I mean, yes, but they're all pretty much just, I want to kill him. No one else needs to kill him, so I'm going to help him because I want to kill him myself and watch him squirm. Fuck, I'm so horny about it.
The way Matt described everything about Hisoka to me, it leads it to be Hisoka as an incredibly self-centered and selfish character.
Okay.
And everything I've seen about him is that it's basically he is so focused on his one goal, he does not give a shit about anything else.
Yep.
Gotcha.
All he wants is what he wants, and he will do anything to get it.
Okay. Gotcha. I was just curious because I don't know much about him outside of, like...
No worries. So shit. In that same sense, Gon is very similar, actually. I'm not sure, he's one of two things. He's either written like a child. Yeah, he's green. He's either written so hard like a child that he doesn't really understand a lot of, like, I don't want to say good and bad, but the weight of some of the things he does, or some of the things that other people do. Mm-hmm. Like Killua, for example, is 100% just an assassin. He fucking kills people. He comes from a family of assassins, and Gon is pretty much like, yeah, that's fine. Go for it. Oh, you want to kill that guy? Have fun. Bye, Killua. See you whenever. And, like, there's no moral anything to Gon for it. The other option...
Killua.
Yes. The other option is Gon is a psychopath. Like, actually. There are multiple times throughout the anime where they basically go like, wow, this kid's kind of fucked up. Like, there was originally an episode I was going to show you guys that it was for one line, basically, where someone's looking at him and basically going like, wow, if, like, someone got to this kid, he would be a fucking nightmare. Because he just does whatever he wants, and it doesn't matter. He's absolutely okay with killing people. He's okay with, like, murder and torture and all this stuff so long as it makes sense to him. And it's going into Hunter x Hunter thinking that Gon is a psychopath from the beginning puts a spin on things that is so nice watching it the second time, honestly.
See, I got the impression that, like, at the beginning he was a pretty normal idiot kid, and that he kind of got corrupted throughout.
Nope.
The impression I kind of got...
He's been like this kind of from day one.
From the 2 episodes that I've seen that were about him, that involved him, seems like he's kind of both. He's kind of like this perfect child who does whatever he wants, but because of the damage done to him, he has carried the weight of it all and basically forces it into this rage.
Yes.
But it's not uncontrollable rage, because
no.
That was why I was really like, I really like this touch. Where he was like, let's go outside to the cat girl. Yeah. Because he didn't want to destroy it. It's like, he hasn't like gotten all this power and is going ham. Like, no, he still is in control. And it's like, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
After this, the arc after this is basically you don't see Gon at all. 100%. Like, you see him in a hospital bed. We didn't really see
much of him at all in any of these.
I had 3 episodes. What do you want from me? He's basically in a hospital bed, and Killua is going to get a thing to save him. And every single person that goes up to him is like, I don't want to be anywhere near him. Just looking at him is terrifying because of the nin that he has in his body still. It's so good. There's a previous episode where he pretty much just kind of goes and tells like a mass murderer, like, why do you kill people that have nothing to do with you? That's kind of weird. You shouldn't do that. And then him turning around and doing this shit, it's just like, fuck, man. So before we get into like the actual artist, I guess I just kind of want to mention this show openly has like trans characters and non-binary characters and stuff, and I really fucking love it. Can I say? Killua's sister is assigned male at birth, and she, wants to be considered a girl by every single person, and the family that she's born into thinks of her as a thing because she has this power to grant wishes, but if she grants a wish, you have to repay it with an equally heavy thing. So, like, at one point, someone wishes for $1 million, and then she goes up to another person. She's like, okay, hey, would you give me your heart? No? Can I have your spine? What about your brain? And if they don't give it to her, they die. As well as every single person almost every single person they've interacted with, and the person they love the most. So, there's a chance if Killua uses his sister's wish thing, that his entire family and a lot of other people are going to fucking die, basically. So there's that. But yeah, his sister's name is Alika, and she is openly like trans, and it's great. There's also just multiple characters like Pito, for example, and I would actually even say like Kite, that are not, they're genderqueer for the most part, and it's not like, wow, look at this. It's just kind of a thing that you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. Like, fuck, man. Especially watching it again on the second watch, basically. So there was another anime in 1999 that only went through.
There was another anime?
3 arcs of this. It is not nearly as well animated, I will say. Yeah. And I've never watched it. I've only watched this one. And so this one is the one that I go to.
Wow, you're a fake fan.
The problem is that the artist got burnt out, basically. So the arc after this one is basically trying to deal with that bomb going off. They are dealing with the issues that they need to vote in a new chairman. They're dealing with the fact that a fucking bomb went off. They're dealing with the fact that an entire country has now been displaced as well. So it's like, I just enjoy that it's the consequences of that previous episode, so to speak. Like, it's actually not like, neat. A bomb went off, don't worry about it. It's like, no,
now there's a new
we're
villain.
Actually worrying about it.
Yeah.
Gon actually meets up with his dad, and we have this whole moment where it's like, we're gonna go adventure together, and then there's no more episodes. Because the artist wound up having burnout, and has not been able to continue the series whatsoever. But he also has said that he doesn't want anyone else to write the series, because he wants to finish it. It's his baby. He wants to finish it. So there's that. And I don't know if I want to see it finished, for one. But also he married the person who made Sailor Moon. So...
yeah.
Because...
Didn't we all?
They also actually reference each other constantly in their shows. I don't remember most of Sailor Moon references in this, but there's an island, there's an arc in this called Greed Island, and there are multiple cases in Sailor Moon where she's just like playing video games, and the video game is Greed Island, and it's great. I think that's most of what I wanted to talk about, really. There's so many little things that I fucking love about this anime, like the fact that things carry over from one arc to another, the fact that, like, there's villains that you absolutely, from the depths of your fucking heart, hate, but there's also villains in this that are very redeemable, that are basically like the Phantom Troop, actually. Let's talk about Kurapika.
Yeah.
Kurapika doesn't really get his arc finished. There's a arc called the Phantom Troop arc, which basically is him going off to murder the people who murdered all of his people. And yes, Spooky, they all have red eyes.
Yeah,
and yes,
because they were hunted for their eyes, which
yes,
is
they were,
awesome.
because it was considered one of the prettiest or the most gorgeous colors in the world, and so they were hunted for their eyes.
Red is a very nice color.
It was like this very specific, almost gemstone style. Anyway, he does have red eyes. He wears contacts because he doesn't want to be killed for his eyes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I did kind of explain already to them Kurapika's whole, like, nin dagger to the heart thing, for one. So y'all already understand that. But basically, he's very, very powerful. But he also makes, like, addendums to that, so he's like, I actually can kill people with my pinky finger, and it's like, fuck off, Kurapika. You fucking asshole. This is so bullshit. And it's this whole arc about him hunting down the Phantom Troop and stuff, and he doesn't catch them at all. They escape. And you're just like, oh, I guess Kurapika's gonna keep going after him. And Kurapika is literally, now that he thinks he's killed the Phantom Troop, in a fucking slump because he has nothing. Like, he basically fulfilled everything he wanted to do, so now he has nothing to do anymore. I don't know, it's really lovely. Leorio doesn't really get an arc until maybe the last one, sort of, but not really. So Gamb was
Mr. Oreo.
Yeah. So Gamb was joking about how he was just kind of an idiot because he just wanted money. His arc, I believe, is that, or his whole backstory is that he wants to become a doctor, and he needs a lot of money to go through college, so he decides to become a hunter to pay for it. Because it's very, very easy to
that's a pretty
get
dumb
money,
thing to do.
if you're a hunter. Because he had multiple friends, or I think just one friend, die when he was a little bit younger, and he couldn't take them to a hospital because they didn't have money, so his friend just died, and no one was willing to help him. And so that's his whole thing.
This is why we need socialized healthcare.
But I don't know, they're back, I don't particularly like Kurapika, but I think for the most part they have, like, decently human feeling backstories, so to speak. Because, like, Leorio has no arc. But at the same time, fuck off.
Leorio.
But at the same time, I would sit there and be like, yeah, no, I just want money to help my fucking friends. Let's do it. Sure. The sort of thing. Like, I would absolutely do that sort of thing. So, I don't know. There's so much that I skipped, and it really does suck trying to shove 200 fucking episodes down to 3.
Right.
I don't even think it's 200. And I can understand it being hard with you, Spooky, and having like 8 episodes, but holy crap, I had to skip whole arcs and shit. Which is why I wound up picking the episode with the bomb directly followed up by that fight, because I was just like, I just want that punch of like Gon having a fucking emotional breakdown, as well as Netro literally using a bomb.
Yeah, when
to kill
we
the
were
Ant
watching
King.
it, I was wondering why you chose that episode, and then once we saw the final episode, I kind of got it.
Yeah. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Is that everything? Okay.
This was
So,
definitely
we'll
my
convene.
favorite shonen of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Very easily.
Okay.
So what number would you give it then, Spooky?
From the 3 episodes we watched,
And everything I've blabbed at you.
right? And I mean, from what I know too in general, because I know
Mhm.
most of Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
I would say probably a 7.
Ooh.
Probably a 7. I kind of go between
Ooh.
6 and 7.
I got higher than a 5. Nice.
Yeah.
On a shonen for Spooky. And Spooky hates shonen more than Gamb. Nice.
Do I?
You said you did.
Yeah?
Huh?
You said you did.
Yeah, Spooky, don't lie.
I thought you said you did. It's fine.
Did I?
Anyway.
I don't know. I like anyway, go ahead. I just don't like classic shonen a lot.
A 1.
Really?
Everything I saw in this was everything I don't like in shonen. It was
Okay.
a lot of talk, not show. Like show the fundamental like the entire episode that was just a fight. Like either stopped frequently to like have internal monologues, or had the fight sort of going on in the background whilst having an internal monologue. And it's like I have no connection to either of these two characters.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I'm sure the bomb was really impactful to someone who knows what's going on, but, like, I have no idea. And, like, cool, big bomb doesn't kill him. Of course it doesn't, because it's a shonen and he's the big bad guy.
I mean, it does.
And, well, it does eventually, but it doesn't in that moment.
Well, yeah.
But it's, like... yeah, it's just, like, even in the first episode, it's like Gon is like almost insufferably perfect child syndrome. Whenever
Absolutely.
like everything he did was like, I am the perfect child, everything I do is right, and then like immediately he almost gets sidelined in the episode to like show you all these other different characters, and it's like, oh yeah, he's in this. He's meant to be the protagonist, and then it's just like, oh, he's the perfect do no good child, and it's like, I'm sure eventually they do something with this, but for now I really don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I already hate characters that are perfect.
Yeah.
The only thing I hate more than a perfect character is a perfect child character.
I sort of feel like that might be... Because I was talking about how slowly, if you sort of start to notice that he's basically a psychopath, you know, throughout the show, you sort of realize, like, oh, that's just kind of how he acts up front, because I don't think he knows of any other way to be.
Yeah, and I kind of picked up on that in the first episode a little bit, of like the fact that, okay, he is too perfect. Like, and it's like, either this is bad writing, or this is setting up for something in future. And it's like, well, I know Hunter x Hunter isn't bad, so it's gotta be setting up for something. What it's setting up for? I don't know. Probably something trauma related.
Yeah.
Because, you know, daddy left.
To become a hunter.
Yeah, I just had no real connection to it, and I Gon doing the big fight and stuff, but it's like because I had no real emotional connection to things, it all came down to like the classic shonen shit of like, I'm doing the ultimate super mega punchy power move to counteract your block of hand movie. And I'm like, I hate that shit. That's the shit I hate the most.
That, but I think I mean, it definitely purposefully played into that, right? And
Yeah.
I think that it was a better example of it being done.
I mean, it
I'm
does
not
it
a
really
fan of
well.
those things either.
It does it really well. I just personally
Mhm.
hate that sort of shit. I sort of, like, see that going on and, like, hear narration during a fight, and I'm like, stop talking and fucking show me. Like, you don't need to explain what his attack is doing, just show its effects to me.
Yeah.
It takes me out of it whenever I hear, like, internal monologue. Like, not all internal monologues during fights can be bad. Like, you can do them really well, but, like, that specific episode, that was just the entire episode, and I'm like, I was so done, because it's like,
Yeah.
like, I'm not connected to any of this. All I'm getting is, like, my power level's higher than yours. No, my power level's higher than yours. No, my power level's higher than yours. And, like,
The middle one was
like,
definitely
okay,
my
I
least
get it.
favorite of the three.
Yeah, it...
Definitely.
I almost
I mean,
sort
even
of
in the
wish...
third episode, it had that a bit.
Yeah, but not
I
as
would disagree.
bad. I feel
Not
like
as
in
bad,
the third
but, like,
episode... I feel like in the third episode, it kind of needed it in a way, though. Because it was
every
shit
single
that
thing
that you would have never seen before up until this point. You know what I mean?
At this point, like, in episode 3, Pito is 100%, like, powered by fear. So, for me, her just being like, what? How did that happen? Sort of thing, like, makes sense, so to speak. Like, I agree that the middle episode is very dragged out. I really wish that I could show you the last part of that episode and then the first part of the next episode. And that's it, but I can't.
Right.
And so I had to choose between the two, and it was either a fight that's extremely intense with someone who knows he's going to die regardless, but is having fun with the fight, or I show you people shoving their finger in an armless, legless body of the king, going, suck on my finger, king, and take all my power so you can live. And it's like, no.
See, yeah, no. But I think that's the thing to me, is, like, I came into this kind of knowing that I wouldn't really like Hunter x Hunter, because, like, I knew a little bit about it, and I'm like, there's some stuff in there that interests me, but, like, I don't think I would like it. And it's
I
like,
don't think I would like it.
Basically, after watching this, I kind of was like, I liked it less than I thought I would.
Okay.
Like, and I'm not saying it's bad, because I think it's very, like, it is, it's beautiful. Like,
Yes.
the animation is fucking beautiful. And I'm sure the stories and arcs have incredible impacts and great writing to them. But it's just the way they tell the story is everything I hate about shonen.
Yeah.
And I just don't like it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure if I watched all of this, I would probably like what's out of it, but I would have to slog through so much stuff that I don't like.
That's my issues with it. That's why I'll never watch Hunter x Hunter, is because I'm only, like, super interested in... Because I understand there's development through the whole show, but I'm only really super interested in the development that happens in, like, maybe the last 40 or so episodes.
Yeah.
So it's, like, not worth it for me to go through, like, 100 episodes to get to that point.
Yeah.
And the problem is you can't just skip to that episode of, like, because it's like that you have no payoff. Like, it's the payoff, but you don't have the build up to it.
Yeah.
But because it's like a shonen, the build up is so long because it's, you know, a long form sort of storytelling.
Yeah, and like the moments that I would like the most are, like, you know, the Ant King's interactions with Komugi. Like, shit like that is what, like, interests me with Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
And then the Gon breakdown. I like a good breakdown on a character, so I'm like all here for that. But it's like I would just, the stuff that I would be interested in just doesn't seem worth it whenever I can just appreciate
it's very buried
from being told. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, I can appreciate the relationship between Komugi and the Ant King just by being told about it. I don't need to watch it. And that's why, like, I go between 6 and 7, because, like I've said before, a 6 to me it was above average but not worth watching, and a 7 to me is that was at least worth a watch. And over 150 episodes for it was at least worth the watch isn't worth it to me. You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
But I definitely think, like, out of, like, classic shonen like this, Hunter x Hunter definitely does the best. Like, I would watch Hunter x Hunter any day before, like, Naruto or Bleach or fucking One Piece or whatever.
Yeah. It's okay, Spooky. You can just say fairy tale. I get it.
Or Fairy Tail, but
I actually would watch Fairy Tail before I'd watch this again.
really?
Wow.
Yeah, I realized that as you said, like, this is my favorite out of them. And I was like, oh god, I think Fairy Tail was technically my favorite out of them.
Oh,
That's
God.
shocking because
By
Fairy Tail
default.
was literally my least favorite thing we've ever watched on podcast.
Yeah. And when I say, like, it was my favorite,
yeah.
it's literally by default because, like, I didn't like any of them.
I am realizing through all of this that not only, like, the genres and stuff that we like are different, but, like, how things are written are varyingly different between the three of us. And whereas, so, like, Gamb cares quite a bit, right, about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, Spooky, you're middle of the road, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just here to have a good time, sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know if I would say I'm middle of the road. I would say I just look for very different. I would say
You're between the two of us at minimum.
Well, I would say a big difference between me and Gamb is I think Gamb is more plot focused and I'm more character focused. And I'm not saying that either's like bad or good. I just think that like I could watch something with no plot at all, give me good character writing, I'm good to fucking go. Whereas like Gamb's like, I need something to cling on to here. And I think that's part of the reason why it's like, you can show me 3 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, a million episodes apart. I don't need context for what's happening because those good character moments, a lot of my notes are direct quotes from characters because I was like, that's a defining character quote, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing to be invested in plot or character more. I just think that's kind of like the separation between us. Because we both like good plot and good character. I would just say one of us leans one way and one of us leans the other way.
I mean, for me, it's just like, are you doing something that I find interesting? If you are, then I'll watch it. Like, I don't give a fuck. It could be terribly fucking written, but like, if it's about like a little psychopathic kid, like going and fucking around and not being psychopathic outwardly, and everyone's like, oh, this is a great little kid.
Hey,
oh,
do
fuck.
I have an anime
like,
for
then,
you, dear? It's called Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah. But just stuff like that. If it sounds interesting, like, I'll watch it. I could not be fucked.
I'm not kidding. Watch Mob Psycho.
You can get me to watch Mob Psycho at another date. It'll be fine.
Don't tempt me. I will break my own fucking like rules that I had for the podcast, and I will make us watch the entirety of Mob Psycho. Don't fucking tempt me. I will do it.
I mean, you also need to make us watch. You also need to make us watch. What was it? The twin quadruplet, whatever. Yeah, Osamatsu.
Oh, Osamatsu-san. That one we don't need to watch all of it.
Yeah.
That's one we could definitely do, because that's not plot at all. That's just comedy writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm actually really surprised how this came out, because
really
at the end of the day, there were little things in each episode that I had kind of hoped. Like, I had kind of hoped I could have gotten someone to be like, Fairy Tail was not as bad as I thought, comparatively to some other anime that is bad. And also most shonen actually maybe not that great in retrospect, such as, you know, Aladdin or whatever, Magi.
Magi.
But I had kind of had a hope that at the end of the day, I'm trying to think of how to word this. I had kind of hoped that, like, I could have gotten a shonen that maybe Gamb would have been like, that was not terrible.
See, the problem is, I already have that.
I know you do, because
it's Mob Psycho 100.
You also already came in knowing that you were going to struggle with this, for one. And you had already watched Full Metal Alchemist, which I would have fucking shown y'all if I could have.
I would have,
but we already.
though.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, if I could have, that's something I would have shown y'all for a good anime. You know,
see, I like that we ended up doing like classic battle shonen month, though, right? Because I feel like there's something like Mob Psycho or Full Metal Alchemist or something into the mix would have like thrown off like the vibes for this whole month to me. Because what we ended up doing was battle shonen, and I think that's like exactly what we needed to do, right? And I think that's like the big thing, right? Because shonen's just a demographic. Like whenever people say like, "Oh, a shonen,"
there's multiple genres of shonen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because shonen's just aimed for teenage boys. That's the demographic. It's a demographic.
And me.
That's all it is.
Just me.
Yeah. I mean, demographic doesn't mean...
you are a teenage boy.
Fuck off.
Demographic doesn't
this,
really...
remember?
Yeah, and, like, demographic doesn't mean fucking shit, really. It's just kind of like, what magazine did this fucking come out in? But I'm glad that we went, like, battle shonen. Specifically. I think that's really nice. I think the only thing
just so I could prove that I don't like it.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's, like, I kind of wish we would have had something in here was, like, a modern one versus older ones, right?
That's fair.
Like a Boku no Hero or like a Demon Slayer or like something that's modern airing right now, because they are they've taken the formula and like they have changed it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
From what I've seen of
everything I've basically shown y'all is like from 2012 back.
But
so...
the good news is I watch modern shonen, so I can take care of that. Point.
Spooky, you can give us a modern shonen month. It'll be great, and I'll have fun, and Gamb will die. No,
I don't.
I'm not doing another month.
I don't watch enough battle shonen for that.
I'm making a joke. It's fine. I mean, the biggest thing is like. You are right. Like, I did give you guys a very extremely specific brand of shonen that honestly is my favorite brand of shonen. I wish I could have shown y'all, like, Yu Yu Hakusho, for example, or just like, and again,
another battle shonen,
it's fucking battle shonen. Yeah. But that's just what I grew up with, and I don't watch a lot of, like, modern anime, to be honest. This podcast is the only way that I've gotten more modern anime. Honestly.
Except for Osama Ranking.
Except for Osama Ranking, which is the perfect anime and can never be topped.
Well, I don't know about that one.
It's perfect. Everything's perfect about it. Every character's perfect. It's great.
But, yeah.
Listen.
This was fun. I like that with Fairy Tail, Gamb ended up being like, it wasn't as bad as I thought, and I ended up being like, I hated this more than anything.
Yeah. It was so much worse than I thought.
Yeah, I bet that's something you didn't expect to happen, right?
Gamb hating Hunter x Hunter was a little bit more than Fairy Tail. Honestly. Okay. I legitimately thought the fact that there were the intricacies of, like, the psychosis and stuff like that, and the fact that you have Killua being gay as fuck and pining after Gon, and the unrequited, like, emotional shit of every single scene between them. You know.
Well, the problem is
we didn't see any of those.
Only actually had one scene between them.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem with showing just 3 episodes. Is like, you have all this knowledge of, like, these characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't. And that's why it's so hard to show me something like a shonen, because it's like, I need all of that context, and I can't have that context just explained to me. Yeah. Because I will just go, okay, but I don't care about it being told to me. I need it shown to me.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, well, you need to have watched all these episodes to get it. And it's like, but that's why I don't like shonen.
I do think there's also something to be said about watching shonen for the long haul, like, as it's coming out, too. So. I
was actually doing that with, My Hero Academia until I stopped at, like, season 3, I think, or season 4. I can't remember. Because I couldn't, it was very easy for me to be like, actually, you know what? I can follow along with this. And then like, as it got to that, it was like, okay, now I have to wait each week for it to come out. And it was like, okay, this is just an episode of them fighting. This is still the same fight. Or like, this is the same sort of thing. And it's like, oh, that's right.
My God.
I don't like shonen.
Yeah, I think depending on where you stopped with Boku, because Boku no Hero definitely has weaker arcs that you kind of have to shovel through.
Should look up where I stopped with it.
You should, because season 3, I think part 2 is like my favorite part of the show so far.
If I remember right, I think it was just after the tournament arc. Or just in the middle of it, I think.
It was at some point.
I can't remember.
Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll talk about it a different time, but yeah.
We will get, I guess we'll get into more conversations about shonen then in the future with Spooky, because...
Do we have to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I just be shot?
No.
It'll be fine.
Nope. So, Spooky, I guess I can give you the front spot in the podcast picture now again. Here you go.
Yay!
Let me clean you up, flip your toast back over.
Let me just stay dead on the floor.
God.
Oh god, my toast.
I get to run with my toast again.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
Make sure you make it to school on time.
Woohoo.
Tee
All right. It's been a weird month. I did not expect a lot of this.
1 week.
It's been a weird month. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you guys for joining me for Shonen Month, and I guess
Thank you for shonen.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing some of my favorite media with me. Now get the fuck out of my life. I never want to talk to any of you again.
We'll see you next time for Futurama February.
Wait, it's
Spooky, shut up. Spooky, shut up.
That's what month it's gonna be.
Futurama February.
Yeah, that's next year. Next year is Futurama February.
Oh, that's the
Woohoo!
next time they'll. Okay, I guess we won't
Yep.
record for
Yeah,
an entire year, and then we'll be back.
All right,
Yep,
bye.
we're not gonna
Bye.
record for an entire year.
Bye.
Goodbye.